I never thought a single night could split my life into a before and an after. But it did, and it happened behind a door I thought was safe. Even now, my hands shake when I remember the sound of laughter outside my room, the kind of laughter that doesn't belong near a sleeping house. Please stay with me till the end of this, because what I'm about to share is heavy, and I've carried it alone for too long. That night started like any other quiet evening. The house smelled faintly of leftover dinner, and the soft soap I used after washing the dishes. My husband had gone out with his friends earlier, saying they would just have a few drinks and talk like old times. I believed him. I always did. I changed into my night clothes, brushed my hair, and lay down with my phone face down on the bed, letting the room fall into silence. The fan hummed above me. The streetlight outside painted a pale line across the wall. I remember thinking how calm everything felt, how normal. I must have drifted off, because the next thing I remember was noise. Not loud at first, just a messy sound, shoes scraping the floor, voices stepping over each other. I checked the time on my phone. It was past midnight. My chest tightened, but I told myself it was nothing. They would come in, laugh for a minute, and leave. That's what usually happened. Then my door handle moved. It wasn't a gentle knock. It wasn't my husband calling my name. It was the door opening, slow and careless, like whoever was on the other side didn't think about me at all. The light from the hallway spilled into my room, and with it came the smell of alcohol. Sharp and heavy. I sat up, pulling the blanket closer without even realizing it. My heart started beating so fast it felt loud in my ears. In the doorway stood my husband, swaying slightly, and behind him were his 3 friends. Their faces were flushed. Their eyes were unfocused. They were smiling, but not in a warm way. It was the kind of smile that doesn't see you, only itself. I froze. My mind went blank, then rushed with thoughts all at once. Why are they here? Why didn't he stop them? Why didn't he close the door? One of them laughed and said something I couldn't fully hear. Another leaned against the doorframe, blocking the exit without meaning to, or maybe without caring. My husband looked at me, but his eyes slid away too quickly, like he couldn't hold my gaze. That hurt more than anything else. In that moment, I tried to speak. My throat felt dry, like I had swallowed dust. I asked what they were doing, told them I was tired, that they should leave. My voice sounded small, even to me. It didn't carry the strength I felt inside. They kept talking over each other, words mixing with laughter. Someone took a step into the room. The space felt suddenly too small, like the walls were moving closer. I could hear my own breathing, fast and shallow. My hands clenched the blanket so tight my fingers hurt. I looked at my husband again, silently begging him to say something, to tell them to go, to be the man I trusted. He smiled awkwardly and said they were just joking, that they wouldn't stay long. His words fell flat, empty. In that moment, I realized he didn't understand what was happening to me, or worse, he didn't want to. Time felt strange, like it stretched and folded in on itself. Seconds felt like minutes. I remember the way the light hit the floor, the way dust floated in the air, the way my heart kept racing even though my body felt stuck. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to wake up from what felt like a bad dream. I raised my voice then, louder this time, telling them to get out. The room went quiet for a brief second. One of the friends looked surprised, another annoyed. My husband laughed softly, trying to smooth it over, but that laugh cut deep. It told me my fear was not being taken seriously. Finally, after what felt like forever, they turned and stumbled back into the hallway. The door stayed open for a moment longer, and then it closed with a dull sound that echoed in my chest. I sat there, staring at the door, waiting for my heart to slow down. It didn't. My husband came back in alone a few minutes later. He dropped onto the bed like nothing had happened. I shifted away from him, my body reacting before my mind could catch up. He tried to put an arm around me. I moved again, this time more clearly. I told him how scared I was. I told him how exposed I felt. My words came out uneven, mixed with anger and hurt. He sighed, told me I was overthinking, that his friends didn't mean anything by it. Each word felt like a small push, moving me further away from him. That was the moment something broke inside me. I turned my face toward the wall and cried silently, not wanting him to hear, not wanting another part of me dismissed. My chest ached in a way I had never felt before. It wasn't just fear anymore. It was betrayal. It was the sudden understanding that the person I trusted most had failed to protect me when I needed it. The next morning, the house felt different. Sunlight filled the room, but it didn't bring warmth. My husband acted normal, too normal. He joked about his headache, about drinking too much. I watched him move around, feeling like I was looking at a stranger wearing my husband's face. I tried to explain again, calmly this time. I told him that night had changed how I felt, how safe I felt in my own home. He listened for a moment, then shrugged it off. He said nothing bad happened, so I should let it go. But something bad did happen. It happened inside me. From that day on, I started locking my door at night. I started waking up at every sound. Laughter from outside made my stomach drop. I stopped feeling relaxed in my own bed. I smiled less. I spoke less. I carried the weight of that night with me everywhere, even when no one could see it. I loved my husband, or at least I thought I did, but love feels different when trust is cracked. I kept asking myself if I was being dramatic, if I was wrong to feel this way. Those thoughts were the hardest. They made me doubt my own feelings, my own fear. Sometimes I still think about that moment in the doorway, about how a simple choice, a single word from him, could have changed everything. I don't know if he ever truly understood what he took from me that night. I don't know if he ever will. All I know is that some wounds don't bleed. They sit quietly inside you, reminding you of the moment you realized you were not as safe or as loved as you believed. If this story touched you, please like, comment, and subscribe to support more real stories like this.